Welcome back, you guys. It's so good that you are here today. Today, we're going to talk about order of operation. I'm so sorry that you missed this lesson, but I am here to help you, okay? So, Denise is learning to make cupcakes using her grandmother's recipe card, but accidentally dropped the card on the floor. You have to be more careful, Denise. Help Denise order the steps correctly, okay? So, she has, like if you just read through these really quick, so pause the video and then read through these really quick. So and then we can kind of talk about it together. So we know that the first thing that you do when you're cooking is you're going to preheat your oven. Okay, so that's one. So we got some other options. We combine baking powder. Too soon. Bake, that sounds like it's like last. Grease and flour a pan. Okay, so we're going to do that before we put it in the oven, but after we combine the flour and baking powder. In a medium bowl, cream together the sugar and butter, beating the eggs one at a time, then stir the vanilla. Pour or spoon the batter into to be prepared. Okay, so it sounds like the last step is to bake it. Okay. The last step is going to be to bake it. Okay, so you got one. So then the next thing they're going to do is they're greasing and flouring this pan, because if they don't have a pan or anything, then what are they, putting stuff in? The next one is in a medium bowl. You're going to cream everything together, the eggs and stir in the vanillas. So those are your kind of wet ingredients. And then you do combine the flour and baking powder, your dry ingredients, and then you mix it well. And then you pour it into that prepared pan that you have. This is a 5. Sorry. And then, the last step is to bake it. So order of operations provides a process for simplifying expressing so that all answers are the same. So there are various ways to, recall this. We got, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So that's the one I know. But different people say different things based on where you live, and all of it is all good. Okay. So it says use the visual to determine which operation should be performed first, okay? So another term that people use to help them remember is GEMDAS, okay? Now, instead of using parentheses, some people say grouping now. I guess that makes sense. Parentheses, those things are grouped together, okay? All right, so you have your groupings, okay, or your parentheses, okay? Okay, you have your groupings, and then you have your exponents. All right, so it's important that you realize after that, these things rank the same, okay? So it's not like multiplication outranks division, okay? They rank the same. I have seen countless people getting problems wrong on social media because they don't know, because the M is before the D in PEMDAS. They feel like multiplication outranks division. It's not a thing. So if these rank the same, then you just go from the beginning to the end, okay? From left to right, just like the way you read. Okay, and so obviously the last two are going to be addition and then subtraction. So looking at this one is asking you, what is the first step, okay? So it says 15 minus 4 times 9. What is the first step? The grouping, okay? Or you can say the parentheses. So you can say 15 minus 4. And that's because it's the grouping. The next one, it says 8 divided by 6 times 5, okay? So division, right? Multiplication and division rank the same. So I'm just reading this problem from left to right, the same way I would read a book. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is division. And the division is going to just be 18 divided by 6. The next one, you have the quantity of 14 divided by 2 plus 3 cubed. And so that the grouping is going to be first. This one, it says 2 to the 4th minus 15 plus 12 squared minus 4. Okay, and so then the first thing I'm going to do is this, right? Like the parentheses. And then obviously, like once I'm in the parentheses, I'm doing this first because the exponent is going to outrank the subtraction, okay? All right, and then the last one says 4 times 8 divided by 5 minus 3. And so multiplication, okay? So doing 4 times 8 is going to outrank everything else. All right, it says simplify the expression below using order of operation. Show your work for each line space given. Help me here, y'all. Be patient. All right, here we go. All right, so for this one, the first thing we're going to do is our exponents, okay? So you have 18. Plus 6 times 2 times 2, which is 4. Okay, so the next thing is there's no parentheses, there's no exponents. So the next thing I'm going to do is multiply. So 18 plus 6 times 4, which is 24. And the last thing I'm going to do is add. So 24 plus 18. 4 plus 8 is 2. Okay, 1. 2 plus 1 is 3. That one I just carried is 4. So your answer here is 42. Number next. So you have parentheses, addition, multiplication, and exponents. So the first thing I'm going to do is the grouping or the parentheses. So 18 plus 6 is 24. I'm going to times that by 2 squared, okay? So the next thing I have to do is the exponents. So 24 times 4, because 2 squared is 4. And then I have to do 24 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus the 1 I carried is 96. So describe the difference between questions 1 and 2. How did this impact your solution? So because you can see here that these problems are very similar, right? It's just that that grouping changed it. So the parentheses in number 2 change the order in which the operations are performed. So that 18 and 6 were added before any multiplication. Okay. So if you need to write that down, here it is. Okay, so this is it written out. And I'm going to move on to the next problem. So this says apply your understanding of the order of operations to solve the questions below. So you have 15 plus 8 squared minus the quantity of 9 plus 14. So the first thing I'm going to do is add 9 and 14. And so 14 plus 9 is 23. Remember, anytime in this video, you can always pause it. So you can do this yourself. So 4 plus 9 is 3. 13. Oh my God. 4 plus 9 is 13. What do I think I'm doing? I think that All right, so let's go ahead and solve these. So looking at this one, I have to deal with the parentheses first. So I'm going to do 14 plus 9. So when I add this, 4 plus 9 is 3. 13 carry the 1, and so this is just 23. Okay, so now I can rewrite this as 15 plus 8 squared minus 23. So now that I got rid of the parentheses, I'm going to do the exponent. So 8 times 8 is 64. So this is going to be 15 plus 64 minus 23. Now because addition and subtraction rank the same, I am going to just go from left to right, just the way I read, like I read a book. So 64 plus 15. Okay, that's going to be 79. Then I have to subtract that from 23. So 9 minus 3 is 6, and 7 minus 2 is 5, 6. This next one, okay. So we got to get rid of this first. So 7 times 7 is 49, minus 13 over 24 minus 18. So this is division, but you can't divide because you don't know what it is. So you have to figure this out first. So 49 minus 13, 9 minus 3 is 6. So that's 36 for the numerator. And minus 18, 14 minus 8 is 6. So 36 divided by 6 is just 6. For the next one, I have 7 times 8 minus 5 plus 3 times 2 squared. So I'm going to start with my exponent. So I'm going to rewrite this 7 times 8 minus 5 plus 3 times 2 squared, which is 4. Okay, so I did that. So now I never had parentheses. I did my exponent. So now I'm looking at multiplication and division. I have multiplication down here and here. So 7 times 8 is 56 minus 5 plus, so I got to do 3 times 4, which is 12. So now that subtraction and addition, they rank the same, I'm just going to go from left to right to solve it. So if I do 56, take away 5, I get 51. 6 minus 5 is 1. And then if I add 12 to that, you get 63 as your answer. All right. Mrs. Wenzel asked us to write an expression that's simplified to 13. Okay, so who did this correct? Right? So Maggie, what are you talking about here? So first we got to deal with Maggie's exponent. So that's going to be 16 minus 12 plus 3 is 3. Then I'm going to multiply 16 minus 12 plus 9. So now I'll just solve it. 16 minus 12 is 4, and 4 plus 9 is 13. Good job, Maggie. Okay, Alexandria. So we have 3 plus 5 times 2 minus. So outranking addition and subtraction is multiplication. So we have 3 plus 5 times 2, which is 10 minus 3. Not looking good. 3, now these are ranking the same. So 3 plus 10 is 13. And if you subtract 3 from that, you get 10. So this was not right, unfortunately. But if you would take this off, it would be right. And then this one, Taylor, so you have to do the parentheses first. And then inside of the parentheses, you have to do the exponent first, okay? So this is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2 is 8, okay? So 8 minus 4 times 3 plus 1. 8 minus 4 is 4. So there was 4 times 3 plus 1. 4 times 3 is 12, and 12 plus 1 is 13. Get it, Taylor. Good job, okay? All right, so next one, 3 students wrote a statement describing the steps to simplify this. Okay, who wrote a correct statement? So Shelby says, after subtracting 12, 24, you should multiply 6 times 6. After subtracting these two that's in the parentheses, you should do the exponents. Okay. The last step involves multiplying 17 by 3. I gotta come back to that. In one step of the problem, you will divide 12 by 12. Okay, so let's solve it. So the first step is to subtract. So we want to do 17 times 6 squared divided by 24 minus 12, which is 12. Next step is to get rid of the, I could have dropped the parentheses here, is to get rid of the exponent. So 17 times 36 divided by, okay? And so this says the last step involves multiplying 17 by 3. No, this is, so like you just go from left to right. And I think what she's doing is she did 36 divided by 12 and she got 3. So then she was like, oh, that's why I'm multiplying 7 by 3. So remember, you just go from left to right like you read a book. So you're not correct. This one says in one step of the problem, you will divide 12 by 12. That's not going to be true either because 17 times 36, I don't know exactly what it is, but I know it's not 12. And then the last step is going to be to divide by 12. And so that's that. Okay. The only person that was right was Shelby. Very good job, Shelby. You did that. All right. Moving on to the homework. So if you're watching this, you know that you can just like pause it and do them and then come back and see if you got it right. Okay. So it says describe the error in each problem. All right. And in the essence of time, I think I'm just going to orally explain it. I'm not going to type anything because that takes too long. So we got 36 divided by 3. Okay, so obviously first we're going to do the parentheses. I did the exponent here, but then I didn't times this by 2. I should have done that first because this was all in parentheses. She shouldn't have dropped these parentheses until she only had one number left. So she should have done 9 times 2, and then this would be 18. Hold on. So this would be 36 divided by 3 plus 18. So then I would just do 36 divided by 3, which is 12 plus 18 and then 30. So she also dropped, oh, she added this. She added 3 plus 9 and then she dropped the addition. So it was just different mistakes. But for sure, like dropping the ball on those parentheses there messed up the whole problem. So, so the next one, so you have 9 squared divided by 3 minus the quantity of 6 times 4. So, okay, why didn't you multiply here? Okay, because the 9 squared divided by 3 minus 24. Then you should do the exponents. And 9 squared is 81 divided by 3 minus 24. Then you would divide these and then subtract that. So yeah, definitely should have multiplied with the 24. Also like this 9 squared. I guess they just went ahead and did 9 squared is 81 divided by 3 is 27, but it's just, I don't know, it's just out of order. Okay. All right, number 3. So first we're going to do the parentheses and we're going to subtract. So when we do 43 minus 20, we're going to get 23. So when I rewrite this as 23 minus 2 times 5, okay? So now looking from left to right, I need to do the multiplication. So this is going to become 10. 2 times 5 is 10. So it's going to be 23 minus 10. And then 23 minus 10 is 13. Looking at number 4, it says 12 plus 4, and then I also have 11 minus. They're all in parentheses, so I'm just going to go from left to right, just like I read a book. So, 12 plus 4 is 16, divided by 11 minus 7, which is 4. And 16 divided by 4 is 4. Okay, so number 5, we have so we have 7 times 8. We also have 3 times 6. So we have multiplication that's going to rank first, and then we have subtraction and addition. So starting from the left, so I'm going to start here. 7 times 8 is 56, minus 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 1. Okay, so then I've already done the multiplication, so now I'll just have to subtract and then add 1. So if I do 56 minus 18, okay, and then I add 1, and so the answer for this one's going to be 39. This next one, so you have parentheses. Inside the parentheses, you have your exponent, so that's going to outrank the addition. So you kind of have to start all those rules over again once you get inside the parentheses. And then we have division, which is going to outrank subtraction. So I always try to kind of survey the land before I get started. Oops, sorry. So I'm going to do in parentheses, I'm going to do 14. And I know 8 times 8 is 64. Divided by 2 minus 10, okay? So now I have to do the addition inside of here. So 14 plus 64 is 78, divided by 2 minus 10, okay? If I take half of 78, it should be 39. 2 goes into 7 3 times. This is 6, subtract, you get a 1. 2 goes into 18, 9 times. It's going to be nothing left over. So this is going to be 39 minus 10. So that means your answer is 29. Okay. Which of the following is not true about the expression given below? Okay, so you have 10 plus 4 squared minus 25. So let's go ahead and solve this, and then we can kind of evaluate what's true and what's false. That'll give us a better starting point. So I know first I have to do the parentheses. And I have to add inside the parentheses, then I have to square that and then subtract, okay? So the first thing I'm going to do is add this. I get 14 squared minus 25. So then this is going to be 14 times 14. So when I multiply 4 times 4, I get 6. Carry the 1. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5. I put down the 0 because I'm really multiplying 14 by 10, right? Because this is in the tens place. And so I'm going to get 140. When I add this, I get 6. Oops. 5 plus 4 is 9. And then this is a 1. Okay. So this is 196. That's not even all. So then I can subtract 25. Okay. So then I get 6 minus 5 is 1. 9 minus 2 is 7. And then that's a 1. So the 4 will be raised. The 4 will be raised to the second power. Which of the following is not true? The 4 is not raised to the second power is 14. Subtracting 25 will be the last step. That was true. 10 and 4 will be added first. We did do that. 14 will raise to the second power. Okay, so the first one was a lie. Raquel simplified the first step of the expression below. Raquel simplified the first step of the expression below. What mistake did she make? What is the correct version? Okay, so she did 5 plus 3 squared plus 18. So when she did the parentheses, she went from here to 8 squared, and she still has this 18. So the problem is that she added before she did the exponent. So when you go inside the parentheses, you kind of have to like start over with your rules, right? So like once you're in the parentheses, it's like, okay, so what comes first now? Is it exponents, is multiplication, division, or is it addition and subtraction? And then still you're going from left to right. But this one is first. So then when you simplify this, it should be 5 plus 9 plus 18. Oh yeah, I squared it. So 5 plus 9 plus 18. And then this will become 14 plus 18. Okay? And that would be, I think, 32. 8 plus 4 is 2. And then carry the 1. 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3. So yeah, that would be 32. So the mistake she made was here, was that she added these two numbers. She added 5 and 3 when she should have done the exponent first. All right. So don't forget your order of operations, please. Parentheses, exponents. Remember, multiplication and division, they rank the same. They are equals. You just have to read those problems from left to right. And the same thing with addition and subtraction. They rank the same. Okay, they don't outrank each other. They're equal partners, but you just have to always go from left to right when you're solving it. All right, so I hope y'all have an amazing day. Thank you for doing your best, for coming on here to get your work done. And if you need me, you know where to find me. Bye.